Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has firmly rejected Israel's ongoing military operations in Gaza. During a call with Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, they called for an immediate ceasefire, an end to the Israeli ground incursion, and urgent humanitarian aid. Sanchez emphasized that Spain supports the Arab reconstruction plan and aligns with Egypt in rejecting Palestinian displacement. El-Sisi and Sanchez agreed that a two-state solution is the key to regional security and stability, while also emphasizing the need for stability in Syria and in Lebanon. Egypt's State Information Service has firmly denied claims that Egypt is supplying military aid to Israel, labeling them as baseless and delusional. The State Information Services emphasizes Egypt's leadership in rejecting forced displacement in Gaza, its provision of over 75% of Gaza's aid, and commitment to ending aggression. Their statement added that Egypt remains steadfast in defending justice, opposing the Israeli occupation, and upholding its long-standing national and moral principles, despite the heavy price it has paid. 8 Palestinians were killed in an Israeli airstrike on the Al-Najjar family home in Gaza's All Street in Jabalia. Several others remain trapped under the rubble. Palestinian media has reported that many victims, mostly women and children, sustained critical injuries. The surrounding homes were also damaged due to the heavy bombing. Jabalia has faced intense artillery bombardments, and local hospitals, like the Indonesian hospital, lack basic medical supplies as Israeli forces prevent aid entry. Yemen now, where the United States has targeted Sada province in the northern Yemen overnight with 17 airstrikes. A local source informed the local news agency that 2 airstrikes hit the Sahar district of Sada, followed by 3 additional strikes at the same time in the same area. This comes as the U.S. military has been carrying out extensive air raids targeting Houthi positions in Yemen. On March 15th, U.S. President Donald Trump ordered a major attack on the Houthis. Meanwhile, Yemen's Houthi group has claimed to have targeted U.S. warships and an aircraft carrier in the Red Sea, as well as military targets in Israel. The group's military spokesperson said in a televised statement that their missile forces, drone air force and naval forces carried out a joint military operation targeting the warships in the Red Sea. According to the spokesperson, the operation focused on the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Harry Truman, described as a launching base for aggression against the group. In a separate operation, he said that the air drone force targeted Israeli military targets in Tel Aviv, several drones. President Donald Trump stated that no classified information was disclosed in a secret group chat with top U.S. national security officials, which included a magazine journalist. Trump voiced support for his national security team when questioned about the incident at the event. Trump also said that the administration would look into the use of Signal, but he did not think Waltz should apologize. Syria's foreign ministry has announced that an Israeli attack killed 6 people in southern Syria. Israel stated that it will not tolerate militant presence in southern Syria and has sent its troops into Syria's border zone. Syria's leadership has said it does not intend to open a front against Israel. The Israeli military added that militants in southern Syria opened fire towards Israeli troops without specifying whether the Israeli troops were within Syrian territory when they were targeted. It further highlighted that its troops returned fire and that Israeli warplanes struck the militants. Russia's deputy permanent representative to the United Nations, Dmitry Polyansky, has condemned the Israeli airstrikes in Homs that killed and injured over 20 people in recent days. Speaking at a UN Security Council session on Syria, Polyansky urged Tel Aviv to honor its obligations under the 1974 disengagement agreement and withdraw forces from the buffer zone and other occupied Syrian territories. He emphasized Syria's repeated readiness for peaceful relations with all its neighbors and warned that Israel's actions are only strengthening extremist voices within Syria, undermining long-term security for Israel. The Kremlin has said that oil refineries, oil and gas pipelines, and nuclear stations are among the targets that Russia and Ukraine have agreed to temporarily suspend strikes on. The list also includes fuel storage facilities, pumping stations, electricity generation and transmission infrastructure, such as power plants, substations, transformers, distributors, and hydroelectric dams. According to the Kremlin, the temporary moratorium on strikes on energy infrastructure starts from March 18th and is valid for 30 days, but it could be extended by mutual agreement. The Kremlin added that if the agreement is breached by one party, the other party is also released from compliance.